We're going to start with a Congo African gray, Jojo, and her foster parent, Joy. Hey, Joy, how you doing?
Hey.
Good to see you both.
Good to see you.
So you have Jojo, this lovely gray, and how long have you had her? Do you have any idea how old she is?
She's 30. I've had her for a year and a half.
And how did she come to Mickaboo?
From what I understand, she came because the people who bought her originally weren't able to continue the care, and heard that Mickaboo was a really good place to put parrots that needed a new home.
So it's easy to notice that she's got some pretty plucked places.
Yeah.
And how some people often, people think that that's a bird who's not adjusted well. There's actually a ton of possible reasons for plucking, hormonal stuff. But, what's her temperament like? What's she like?
Pretty sweet. She loves to just sit out on her tea stand and hang out. She's learning more and more noises that are in our household, including the ones my other bird makes. So they've been having fun making a lot of racket now because they're on opposite sides of the house. She just has a fun personality.
How does she interact with humans?
She does pretty good. If you're just sitting here talking to her, you can tell that she's showing a lot of interest. She loves little games like if you clap your hands, she'll either flap her wings like that. Oh yeah, you're being a good girl, aren't you? Or like she's making a clapping sound and moving her foot with the beat. So she just likes being with people. She's not a cuddly bird, but she likes being with people.
Does she step up or does she step onto a stand?
She will step onto my wrist. If she absolutely has to, she'll get on my hand, but she'll run off of it as soon as she can. And I've tried the smaller tea stands for transport and she won't get on it.
So I heard you make a distinction. She'll step on your wrist, but not your hand. Hands are a little scary for her?
Yeah, I think so. I worked with her a lot in the beginning so that hands don't scare her like they used to. It used to be you came or she saw a hand anywhere within a couple feet of her, she'd go full defensive and try to bite. And as you can see, she's not doing that anymore.
Oh, good girl. So we had a request. They said the Zoom froze when the plucking came up. So the points I want to make again is that many birds in captivity do pluck. It can be a variety of reasons, including physiological things, including high levels of breeding hormones, sexual hormones, as well as, birds who are very bored or neglected. But it's not always a sign of neglect. And for many birds, once they pluck, the feathers won't grow back after a certain point. But the birds continue to be very happy and sociable and fun birds to be around. And it sounds like Jojo's one of them. What does she like to eat?
Well, I discovered last week that she really likes bananas when she reached over and grabbed half of mine. She likes the seed cakes. Oh, are you saying hi? What a good girl.
Hi, Jojo.
She usually likes almonds, but this last week she's not so sure about them. Walnuts are okay. Corn, I like to take some chunks of corn like on the cob itself and put those in her cage, and she just has so much fun tearing it apart and eating what she feels like eating. For her main food, she eats not the regular pellets of the Harrisons, but the Hansons, but the smaller ones, because the bigger ones she swallows too fast and it gets stuck in her crop.
Okay.
So we feed her 4 times a day.
Harrison's fine. 4 times a day. She's on Harrison's fine.
Yeah. It's just 4 times a day, those little pellets instead of, 2 meals.
Right.
And it seems to be helping. Her crop used to just get so full. She wouldn't eat anything more. She wouldn't drink water. But the vet was like, try this, and it's been perfect since then. No more problems like choking.
That sounds great. She was joining you and talking. She was explaining a few things herself. That was very
I know. She's been doing that lately, last couple of weeks. she's had to participate in every conversation around her. It's kind of fun.
So I know with Jojo, hormones are an issue in her plucking. I remember that. And so what are some of the things that you have to do to help, keep her from getting too hormonally active and having behavior plucking?
That is putting Lupron, which is like an injection in her back once every 5 weeks. And that seems to help with some of the plucking. I took out anything that can be stripped, like nesting materials. So she has wood in there. It's just safe toys like metals and stuff. You're really wanting your treat, aren't you? Basically, I try to keep her off the floor of the cage, so I don't put toys down on the floor. Just things to try to take away any sense of this is a romantic time period of life. Use the light, a pet light. Right,
and keeping, part of that is keeping it from seeming like there are good nesting places available.
Yeah.
That's great. Would you recommend Jojo for someone who is new to parrots, or is she more of an experienced parrot bird?
I think, because I'm not sure how fast it'll take her to kind of calm down in a new environment, I think Jojo is someone who has experience with some birds.
That makes sense. So do you have a favorite Jojo story that you can tell?
I don't know how. Okay, so her cage is right next to the restroom hallway, and we have a lot of people in. Well, normally have a lot of people in and out, and so she will imitate all the different, like the door closing and the toilet flushing and the water running, and whenever anyone goes in or comes out of there, and it just cracks me up because it's so spot on.
Yeah, they're amazing at how closely they can do it. One of our parrots calls me in exactly my wife's voice. It's pretty funny. Reminder that if you have questions about Jojo, feel free to ask them. And let's see. So what would you say people need to be aware of if they were to adopt Jojo?
Just mostly that she has to be fed 4 times a day, just a little bit. And then making sure she gets it to the bird vet every 5 weeks. Otherwise, and be careful with your hands until she gets to trust you.
Right. Those are important things. Hi, sweetheart. Do you have to do extra to keep her warm since she's missing some insulation?
I don't see that I have, but we keep our house kind of warm with my husband's arthritis. So
got it.
I think most people in the house are actually too hot.
So she's in a warm environment.
Yes, she's in a warm environment, and there's an air conditioning vent in the room where her cage is, and I just make sure it doesn't blow directly on her, but it keeps the room cool.
How does she interact with other birds?
For a while, because I have another gray, I have a tag, and she would try to attack him in the beginning, but just like within the last couple of weeks, she actually reached out, and my bird reached out for my hand. I was like, oh, this is going to be trouble, but they bumped beaks, and both went on their merry way, and I was like, wow. So I'm starting to see after 1.5 years some, well, maybe that person's okay.
Nice. And does she take head scritches? Someone in our audience is asking.
No, unfortunately, she's actually very sneaky with them. She'll put her head down to get them, and as soon as you get close, she'll bite. So that's what I mean. She's not a cuddly bird.
You do that. She does let you touch her beak, though, I noticed.
She does let me do that, but it's taken a long time. But if I was to try to scratch her head.
Right. No, don't even try.
Yeah.
Yep.
She just immediately defensive. So I was okay. You don't want your head scratched? No biggie.
Yeah. We really have to relate to them on their terms. They're equal partners.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And thank you, Jojo. You've been a wonderful guest.
Let's see if I buy.
Can you put for me, Helen?
No, you're not.
Bye-bye.